These are the hills of Edom, south of the Dead Sea. And in these empty hills are the ruins of Petra, a fortress carved out of rock thousands of years ago. Going down the donkey trail, you pass by Mount Aaron, for this is also the Valley of Moses. This is where Moses struck the rock and broke the water free. And this also is where St. Paul preached after his miraculous conversion on the road to Damascus. For hundreds of years before Paul, Petra was a thriving commercial capital with thousands of soldiers in its garrisons to guard the southern trade routes. These soldiers were the Nabateans, and they ruled all the way from Saudi Arabia in the south to Damascus in the north. They were, in fact, the last Semitic kingdom to fall before the Romans. But now the city, the sculptured temples and tombs and archways are empty, held by that haunting silence that is in all abandoned cities. Except that in Petra, there is a strange kind of life. The pillars and porticos, the holes in the hillside, so worn by the wind that you cannot tell whether they were homes or elegant tombs, are still theatrical, even operatic in their wild colors, red and blue and yellow, russet and ochre. As you come out of a dark alleyway and suddenly you see all that color, you expect someone to emerge and tell you that it has all not passed away. But there is only an idle Bedouin on his donkey, slowly making his way through the crumbling fortress. And Lawrence of Arabia once wrote of the nomad Bedouin that, with the sky above and the earth beneath his feet, the Bedouin is the inheritor of a vast emptiness. And you leave Petra with the feeling that out of the torment of human affairs, there can come such a magnificent city, but in the end, a desert tribesman, a Bedouin, rides alone through it on his donkey, oblivious to what once was. If you move north through these hills of Jordan, north toward Amman, you see on the horizon a city of homes that represents another kind of ruin, the ruined lives of the Palestinian refugees. Amman is the capital of Hussein's Hashemite kingdom, and there are 600,000 people in Amman, but 400,000 of these are Palestinian, and most live in the misery of the camps, and half have been born and bred in the misery of these camps. 20 and 30 people jammed into each concrete block hut, or tin shack, or tent. These are people who get their can of water each day at the camp tap. These are people who live with the stench of urine from the open sewers. A people who live in poverty with neither passports nor peace nor promise of peace, but only despair and the pride that comes out of anger.
For 22 years, 2.5 million Palestinians have been neglected, have been treated as non-citizens of this world. We don't have an identity. I don't have a Palestinian passport. Nevertheless, the world did not say why. The world did not say, okay, let's solve the problem. Now they have to bear the responsibility for this negligence.
Nothing in the Palestinian camps is quite so distressing as the children drilling with their guns. Back and forth they march, eager, alive, but alive with the weapons of death. And if you talk to these children, you discover that death and burning have been ground into them from birth forward. That early on they learned to fear the roar of Israeli jets, the bombs, the strafing, the napalm, all this cut into their minds. And if you look at their drawings, you see that they are caught between the natural childish pleasure with life and then war and death. Their source of pride is the commando who battles with the Israelis. When a child draws a picture of a young girl picking fruit, she writes this to go with it. The trees were laden with fruit. The enemy's airplanes came and bombed the camp and the trees. The green leaves burned, the roses fell, and the neighbor's daughter also fell. Such is the shattered world of these children.
We are fed up with our tents, and we are ready to fight 1 year, 2 years, 10 years, 30 years, 40 years, 100 years. We are sure we will win at the end. Believe me, I am not talking words here. Our people mean this and mean it very determinedly.